Yes, I'm Roman, and how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Today, we'll be reacting to the video, The Japanese Man Who Gets Paid to Do Nothing. Let's go.
Soji Morimoto provides a very unusual rental service to his clients in Tokyo, hiring himself out in order to, quite literally, do nothing.
First of all, what I found interesting here is that this guy literally gets paid to do nothing. He goes out with people and sometimes he doesn't even talk. He doesn't start a conversation. He's not interested in starting a conversation. And if people talk to him, he gives simple answers, basic answers. And personally, I find it a bit weird, the fact that he's so detached. Well, everyone is different, but for me, I know that I would be really invested in these people's stories, etc.
その依頼者の方が自分から喋らない限りは聞くことはないです。自分から知りたいとかって思ったりもしないです。いや、全然知りたくないです。
The guy will simply be there. I wonder if someone could pay me just to be there. And first of all, I do not want to chastise anyone who would purchase such a service because I can understand. Initially, going to the video, I thought that he would only go out with older people.
Pathetic, lonely, desperate creature.
However, based on what I've seen of the video, I understand that no, his clients are quite diverse.
レンタル何もしない人に依頼する人って他から見れば友達が少ない人とか寂しがりとかそういうイメージ抱くと思うんですけど、好きといえど一人でいると余計なことを考えてしまって、
友達がいなくはないんですけれども、やはりちょっと場所のことだったり時間帯によっては遠慮してしまうところで、
有名なケーキ屋さんがあって、ちょっとそれに一緒に行ってほしいなっていう。東京なかなか来ないので。
There are some persons who enjoy traveling, but they have a hard time traveling alone, and maybe their friends or family wouldn't be interested, so they prefer to have someone there who is just there to accompany them.
While he gets contacted by both men and women with a variety of requests, one of the most common things is simply needing a person to be there, with no strings attached. One session with Soji will set you back 10,000 yen, or $85, plus travel fees, and you'll also be responsible for any other expenses at the location.
Is this enough to pay your bills? How sustainable is this type of living? These are some of my questions. I would love to do such a service. This is quite true because sometimes you have difficulties expressing something to a family member or to even friends. For more than one reason, perhaps they'll judge you. I'll give you an example. It's a very light example. So yesterday I was talking with a friend and I told him that I regretted doing something and that when I look back on things, I think it is my fault. And he said, yeah, it's your fault. I mean, I am not looking for someone to judge me. I just wanted to voice that opinion, so I can understand where you don't want that judgment from family members or friends. You just simply want someone to listen and you just want to voice your opinion. And it sort of helps. So I think having someone there who maybe is just listening, it helps you to hear your own voices, or your own voice rather. Another thing I found weird was that the two persons were sitting and they're both texting on their phone, so it's like you are just there mentally. But then I realized that sometimes you just want the presence of someone there. Even if you're not interacting with the person, the mere thought of knowing that there is another human being there with you sort of makes things easier. I perhaps could see myself using this service, but I wouldn't pay for your meals. I wouldn't pay for anything for you. I would just like if you'd accompany me without problems, without a fuss, so I would actually like the service and offer it too. So before we end this video, let's look at some of the comments and see what people are saying. He says, do nothing, but to the people that hire him, he's doing a lot. I agree, 100%. The guy is a total genius. He gets to travel and eat for free and makes a living by doing nothing, which actually means quite a lot to his clients. He helped a woman work through her partner's sudden suicide when she felt she couldn't go to friends or family. I wouldn't call that nothing at all. He's doing a great service. I love that. I just want to read one more comment. I really love that. This is actually brilliant as many people feel uncomfortable traveling to a foreign town alone. Simply travel with an extra body can keep you safe. I agree. So that is it for today. If you'd like to see the full video, then I recommend that you look in the description box. I will have the link. And with that said, thank you so much for having watched this video. If you enjoy what I do in general, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. With that said, I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.